in a technically kind of mid-card, but really borderline main event style feud, we are getting a lot. So this show started off with Adam Cole and ReDragon, very, very popular group right now. In no part because of Bobby Fish, but the other two guys really carrying the load there. They came out, cutting a nice little promo, and the Young Bucks come out, and they're all like jealous because their boyfriend is hanging out with two other dudes and not them now, and they're still a little salty about it. And, Adam Cole wants everyone to just get along and kiss each other and hug and everything, but it's just not working that way because, the Young Bucks are his boyfriends from before the big time, and ReDragon are his boyfriends from the big time, and they just have tension. They have underlying tension because of that, and there was some tension there until the best friends came out, and they were just like, "Hey, I know you guys are having problems, but like we're the guys you're feuding with, not each other. So feud with us now, please." And they got into a nice little brawl, and Adam Cole low blowed Orange Cassidy as he is one to do. Like that's part of his character is he low blows, but Chris Statlander, who I'm not gonna lie, the framing of this bothered me a lot because the best friends made their entrance. She was there. She never got in the ring. So the whole time I'm like, well, like why didn't she get in the ring? She could just beat up Brandon Cutler. Like he is definitely below her on the pecking order. I understand he has to film these clips for, BTE, but like, bro, just you could clothesline him over the rope or something. So she's just not in the ring, not in the ring, not in the ring until Cassidy gets low blowed. Then she gets in the ring, stands in front of Cole. Pretty dope, pretty badass. That framing really annoyed me. It took me out for a minute, but once she stepped in the ring to Cole, I got excited because I knew what was about to happen was going to happen. And Britt Baker, who you guys probably don't know this, you guys, people watching a wrestling podcast on the internet, probably don't know this, but Britt Baker and Adam Cole are actually dating in real life.
Wait, what?
Oh my God. It's insane. So she came out, she beat up Chris Statlander, Cole beat up Cassidy, and next week they're going to have an intergender tag match that I am personally very excited for. And they even had a great backstage promo where O'Reilly is continuing his gimmick of getting Cutler's name wrong, and Britt Baker decided to get in that too and call him Brendan Butler, which I might accidentally call him a couple times now because it makes sense. It really makes sense. So, James, there was a lot of moving parts in this, a lot of people involved. What were your humble, nonsensical opinions about this?
This was this was definitely my favorite segment of the night. I think everybody on the elite side of things looked incredible. I think I think Adam Cole looks like the main event guy. It was tough in the beginning because he was sort of balancing things out with Kenny, and now Kenny's gone, and whether or not the elite as a whole are the elite as a whole right now with ReDragon and the Bucks, everything revolves around him. He looked like $1,000,000. He had 2 tag teams behind him. He had Britt on his side. He looked like everything you want out of a top heel champion. And I am all for it. I want to see him get to the mountaintop sooner than later. And I know we're all waiting for MJF to get his title shot and to win the title, most likely off Hangman. And I'm sure that'll come. But I am just chomping at the bit for AEW champion Adam Cole, BayBay. But I love the segment. I love the back and forth between the Bucks and ReDragon because it's going to happen sooner than later. It's a match that if you've watched Ring of Honor, you've seen it. It's a match that if you've seen New Japan, you've seen it. But we're going to see it on a mainstream American television channel, and that's going to be awesome. And I know it's something we've discussed privately or maybe even a little bit on the pod, but just seeing the men and the women interacting more is something that I think we're all very cool with and we want to see happen more. So to see Britt get integrated into the Elite is awesome. In my head, I'm already imagining Rebel, not Reba, interacting with Brandon Cutler in like a sidekicks club, and I think it's going to be great. And I think I'm not necessarily ready for Britt to lose the title, but I think that time is coming, whether it is to Chris Statlander or Thunder Rosa or whoever. The fear is typically when an AEW Women's Champion loses that title, they tend to leave TV for a bit because they don't know what to do with her. I think her now being with the Elite is going to ensure, even when she does drop the title, she's going to have something to do on TV, and I'm all friggin' for it.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think it's just nice when divisions intertwine. So having the women's champion in the group, it's like when, Kenny was the world champ, the Bucks were the tag champ, it's that thing works. And having someone with the title in the group makes it feel good. And now it makes Britt's feuds, because let's be real, a lot of her feuds were with people that were just so far beneath her in the pecking order, whether, that's not because they're not good, it's because of how they're presented, where now anyone that feuds with her is going to be shot up instantly because they're interacting with the Elite and, the disputed era or whatever you want to call them. So that it's going to, I think everyone involved gets boosted from this. I don't think anything looks worse. And yeah, like we've said, I really want women in these stables more, and just, it just feels more complete. And this feels like a more complete feud, where otherwise I would be really upset that they're still feuding with best friends. But now there's this huge new wrinkle involved that makes it so much more interesting. Rev, how did you feel about the way this show started off?
Yeah, the rising tide lifts all ships, I think is a good way to put what you were saying. I mean, I love this. I love the whole Bucks ReDragon thing. I love them being both jealous and wary of them and a little ticked at Adam, but like still wanting to trust him. The Bucks add such depth to their feuds, especially in AEW. And part of that is also helped through the fact that they've had BTE, that they've been able to do it. But they add such depth to their feuds that it makes them better. Like all the subtleties and everything are just so good. Britt coming down is awesome. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the first time on AEW television that her and Adam have interacted together, which is pretty cool. And I'm not having flashbacks to Becky and Seth. I'm just not going to do it. So I think they're going to do this right. I think they're going to do it well. I don't know how long they're going to do it for. I guess it kind of depends on what they want out of this whole thing, out of this match to start with, at least. And then we'll go from there. But, I'm going to enjoy it while we have it. And then I think to your point, Danny, that, as I said, the rising tide lifts all ships, because now Britt is at least in a match with Statlander. And then we had the backstage segment later with Statlander and Red Velvet and legit Layla Hirsch, where they're having their feud, or at least the beginnings of it start to come about. And now that's intertwined. And it's just helping rub, everybody and, give them more TV time and more prominent feuds. But B, it's helping just the show continue this thing where everything's kind of intertwined, which I've always loved about AEW, because in WWE, it seems like the left hand never knows what the right hand is doing. So seeing everything continue to coalesce and come together as a coherent show is just awesome. So I'm looking forward to this match next week. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really hoping Statlander kicks the shit out of Adam at some point, because I think she can. She's one of the stronger women on the roster, so I think it'll be really cool. And hey, maybe Britt stomps Orange, and I think there's going to be a lot of good, fun interactions in this match, and it's going to be a good time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love Chris Statlander, so her being on a prominent role on TV is fantastic for me.